we are in an unprecedented situation here where people are at home, worried about their finances. Some people are saying, well, we might need to tighten our belts. But at the same time, you probably have some consumers who are thinking, well, I've got more disposable income because of lockdown. And actually, rather than thinking about it from a retailer's perspective, who's going to be in the black and who's going to be in the red, retailers have had a pretty difficult time this year. But where the challenge and where it's really been booming is actually in the e-commerce logistics sector. These are the companies, and think about the warehouses and the fulfillment centers, which are getting these goods to our homes so that we can actually buy things online from our phones or our iPads. And this is really where the future of investing, into the e-commerce changing consumer behavior really begins.
Howie, how much of that is just a function of us living through a year of an international pandemic? I mean, there's a reason that we've all been flocking to e-commerce, and that's because there's no other alternative. But when things do go back to normal, and the hope is that they will go back to normal in 2021, doesn't that put a lot of these logistics firms in a potentially precarious situation because they've massively invested this year, but could end up in a situation where they simply just have overcapacity as people go back to their old spending habits?
Yeah, I think it's pretty unlikely that people will kind of go back 100%. There's been so many people that we've spoken to that, have this whole experience has opened their eyes. Now, this is not a new trend, right? E-commerce has been growing for some time over the previous years and actually will continue to grow at a rate of roughly 12% on a compound annual growth basis. On a global scale, this is actually going to keep growing on 12%. But when you start looking at other markets like Asia Pacific, we're seeing growth of roughly about 19%, year on year. And these are figures outside of the pandemic. What COVID has actually done is perhaps accelerate some of these consumer habits and actually force people to think about how they shop. And really where we are is going towards the digitalization of shopping. High streets have been having a tough time for some time because of this, because actually what people want is convenience and accessibility.